Well, here we go. We're starting the writing. Now, before we begin the first section, I'm going to go over a few basic rules that I went over earlier, but in case you didn't watch that, I'm going to go over them again. Plus, it becomes a little bit of review. Okay? Our first three things that we're going to be looking for are what? Things we don't like. Being, having, there. These are the three things we don't like. Not that they're wrong, okay? We don't like them. So when we see an answer with one of these things in it, we're very careful about choosing that, okay? Now, another thing that we're going to check is pronouns, okay? We don't like pronouns. If we don't have to use them, it's better not to. Okay, so these are our first four things that we're going to be looking for when we look at the answers first. Okay, now, one other thing that I want to go over, a basic, and the more complicated stuff, not that it's complicated, but it's more complicated, we'll go over as we do it. Remember, the best way to express something is with a verb. Okay, the second best way is with a noun, and the second best way is with ing, which we really don't like too much, okay? And if you're not sure what that means, I'll show you in probably the first problem, or in the first few problems, you'll see an example of why using a verb is the best. It's the most powerful use of wordage, and then noun is second, and then ing is third, okay? And other than that, we have to go over idioms, okay? Now, let's just dive into this. Now, we're not going to look at the sentence first. We look at the problems. Sorry, the answers, which are our problems. But watch this. We look for the having, the being, the having, and the there, and the pronouns. I don't see any. Let's look at, we're going to read this first one. And we notice that having, being there, we don't have that, but we see a pronoun. So we don't like that. So we basically, not that it's wrong, we're just going to push it aside until later. Then we see another, then we look for all these pronouns, okay? And then we eliminate them for now. Now, if between C and D we have two crappy answers, then we go back and we go back to the pronouns. Because they're not wrong, they're just not good. Very not good. I know that's weird English, but they're very not good. So, what did we do? We look at the first answer. We notice a problem here, okay? And then we're going to look at C and D, okay? Now, it says by falling and falling. If you notice this slight difference between these two answers, okay? Now, remember when I talked about verb, noun, and ing? Okay, let's say we do it that way. Remember the being, having, and there, and pronouns, that comes first. Then we go to the verb, noun, ing. Okay? But if we did the verb, noun, ing, we like the fall better, right? We don't like falling. Okay? But this is okay. Why? It's were falling. Okay? That's not a true ing. This is just part of this verb. It's a verb. It's not an ing. Okay, now, I could use some technical terms for that, but I won't. But let's go back to this. We're looking at these two. Now we look. Is it by or and? That's a big issue, isn't it? Now, a recent report indicates that sleep-deprived drivers caused more than 100,000 accidents last year. What do we see? I see something already. I see caused. Okay, and I know there's an idiom for caused. A causes B by doing C. Right? So here, the sleep-deprived drivers caused accidents, and here, by ing asleep at the wheel. Okay? So the drivers caused A caused B by doing this, by falling asleep. So we need C. And that's our answer. Okay? Very simple. Again, it's in the beginning, so we'll go a little slower, but we'll move quickly as time goes on. 2. Now, what do we see here? We look at the first one. Okay? I see 2, which is important. Oh, I see being. That's not good. Now, why is 2 important? Prepositions are very important because of idioms, okay? Then I like those things, but I don't like the being. So let's take a look. And notice these are ing. So we get rid of those, and I see the being here, so that's out. And then I see another being here, so I don't like that. Okay? Now, having and being are okay if they're used as modifiers. And we'll get into that later when the case comes up. And you got to remember all this. It's not that easy. It's not like 1, 2, 3. It's more like 1, 2, 3, 3A, 3B. Okay? Now, what do I like here? I got rid of the beings for now. They could be okay. So what's left? We're left with B and C. And crap. And notice the 2's are going to be important. Why? Well, something might take 2. And it says hard, which is the same as difficult. It's hard to do something or difficult to do something. So we like the 2's. So let me get rid of all this crap. And we like the 2's. Okay? Now, to study as a result of the icy surface mainly is, to study mainly because the icy surface is. Well, we like less complicated over complicated, right? Which means I like C better already. It's a little shorter and it's less complicated. Now, let's take a look at the sentence. The depths of the Arctic Ocean are hard to study as a result of the icy surface mainly is. Huh? Difficult to penetrate. What the hell is that? Or mainly because the icy surface is difficult to... Clearly it's C. Okay? Very easy. This is how to do it very quickly without having to listen to which one sounds right, because sounds right doesn't always work. Most of the time it doesn't. Okay, now, I don't know why this is capitalized. It should be a small o. Let's see. We look at the answers. First one first. Okay, now, were because people are careless, which were? I don't like the which. It's a pronoun. Were caused by human carelessness, and this is also passive, and human carelessness. Here we have a noun, which is good, but it's passive, so it's weak. But because people are careless, okay, these two are very similar. This is passive, this is active. Are because of human carelessness happened from, ooh, look, we don't like that one too much. So basically from pronoun and I and being, we can get rid of A and E. Oh, man. Which means we can choose between B, C, and D. Okay? Several of the forest fires that occurred last summer were caused by human carelessness. Because people are careless. Are because, we can get rid of B. Why? We need a verb. Okay? Several of the forest fires, okay, that occurred last summer. That we can almost eliminate because that just modifies what? Forest fires. Several of the forest fires were caused by human carelessness. That looks good. Several of the forest fires because people are careless, that's out. Are because of human carelessness. Are caused by or are because of human carelessness. Now, what else do we notice here? We notice a tense difference. Past and present. Okay?